Welcome. Today we're going to take a look at the final draft, the completed piece of writing. Our goals are to look at what final drafting is, how publishing is used in writing, and how you can improve upon your good writing processes. So let's take a look at what presentation is. So presentation, this is the culmination of your writing. It's the end of the writing process. It's the completion point of where you've gone through all of the steps in the writing process and you've hit this point of where you actually have a perfected piece of writing. It is how you have taken your content, developed it, improved upon it in an ongoing manner to the point of where you have something that you can now present to your readers that will give them all of the correct information with the correct style and tone that you intended and get your ideas across. How is it used? It is the final step in the writing process, and it's used in different ways depending upon your needs. So you may end up sharing it, you may end up publishing it, you post it, or you'll exchange it. Regardless of what you do with it, you're getting your ideas from yourself, the writer, out to your readers. This is to achieve whatever your goal is, whatever your purpose for the writing is. And so let's say that you are working with a business. As a business person or a business member, you are getting your information out to your clientele, out to other businesses, things like this. Maybe you're doing a marketing campaign or you're getting some information out to your sales team or something like this. Regardless of what you're looking to do with your writing, you're getting it out in a purpose that it's got to be perfect. It's got to be publishable. So how can you identify really good presentation? How can you identify a completed piece of writing? It's going to have a good balance between the white space, between the visuals, and the text. So nothing on any of the pages is going to be particularly overpowering. When you look at any of the pages or any of the elements of the presentation or of the piece of writing, nothing is going to stand out in such a way that it's obnoxious or it's taking over the piece. Everything is nice and balanced. Your graphics are clear, they're easy to read, they're easy to understand. Your reader doesn't get hung up on them because the information is easy to grasp. It's very neat and clean. If there's any handwriting on it, that handwriting is very easy to read. The font selection, the borders, and the overall appearance, those are done in a way that are aesthetic, clear, very clean, so that it's efficient for your reader to ingest that information. In terms of your basic essay formatting, for any piece of writing where you're turning in an essay or a research paper, for example, you're going to follow these formatting rules as your basics here. Now these may change depending upon what your teacher or your professor is specifically asking of you. But if you don't have any formatting particulars coming in from your teacher, you can follow these. These are pretty standard. We're using Times New Roman, size 12. Your spacing is doubled. Your margin are 1 inch, 1 1/4 on the sides, although I have seen 1 inch on the sides as well. You've got a heading that's got basic information, such as your name and your class and the assignment. You've got a title, and you've got images and graphs and multimedia that are used specific to the assignment. Any and all of your graphics need to be really neat, need to be really clean. They're not taking up a huge amount of each of the pages. You've got room for titles, you've got room for explanations, you've got rooms for other text on that page. The colors and the imagery are necessary, and they're not just kind of stuck in there to take up space. They're not just for show. They enlighten and they expand upon the content, so they're truly needed in that piece. A dull presentation comes across as being sloppy. It's got random fonts, too wide margins, it's got too much or too little white space. The images and the graphics don't make sense, they're redundant, they're unnecessary. The font may be too large, maybe a strange font, may be difficult to read. You may see irregular spacing or irregular fonts as well. All of these things are not useful for your presentations, so you want to make sure that you are leaving these kinds of things out. correct use is that you're checking every detail of your paper, you're checking every detail of your writing before you're submitting. If you cannot edit and revise your own writing, which is quite normal by the way, it's very typical that a writer has a difficult time editing their own pieces, which is why you could get a partner, you could work with a peer, you could work with a professional writer if necessary too. Take pride in your writing so that what you do submit, whether it's for sharing or for publication or for grading or for whatever purpose, truly is your best piece. In terms of student expectations, make sure that you're using presentation methods in writing in your projects. Make sure that you are truly coming to a point of perfected completion. Edit and revise your work to make sure that you've got a nice strong presentation and completion. Information you should have at this point is to understand how different presentation options can be useful, know how to use presentation for perfect outcomes, and be able to create your own pieces that are aesthetic and pleasing. You want to get your information from the writer to the reader in a nice, clear manner. I hope this information has been useful to you. Good luck.